So Adidas released a $100 runner that I think is worth a look, and I did not even know that this one was tied to Tate McRae, which she's obviously kind of like on top of the world right now. So kind of crazy to see a photo shoot of her wearing this shoe right here from Adidas, known as the LightBlaze. I kind of knew that Tate McRae was tied to Adidas, and then I didn't hear anything or see much, but then I was looking up this shoe and I was like, holy moly, like Tate is actually wearing these shoes, and I was like, that's pretty awesome. Like, honestly, obviously, she speaks to the youth, and I'm a bit of an older gentleman myself. However, this is one of those shoes that I think that a lot of people might be interested in, so I wanted to give you guys a review. So I did want to mention that this video is sponsored by Adidas. They do sponsor some of my content on my channel. They did send me this shoe. I personally requested it. I saw these on their website, and this specific colorway spoke to me. So big thank you to Adidas for sending these over and then sponsoring the content. They don't dictate anything I say about the shoes or anything like that. Having the sponsored content from brands like this, though, helped me be the stay-at-home dad that I am and helps bring content to you guys. And if you guys do want to help support the channel, the best way you could do so is using the links in the description of the video. In this case, you can buy these in the description of the video. It'll take you directly over to Adidas website. If you use that link, I get a little bit of a kickback, but it lets Adidas know that you guys saw the content and support the channel as well. This, first of all, is only $100 at retail. So I think that that is a big starting point. Also, it kind of gives you like the Oswego sort of vibes, but in a different, like refreshed, reimagined sort of way. And I really like it. The next thing is they're super comfortable. You have Lightstrike in the midsole, and it's a full-length Lightstrike midsole, and that's not Lightstrike Pro, so it's not softer and more responsive and like, you know, like made for like running or anything like that. But this material is super soft, and I'll tell you, trying these on for a $100 runner, I'm like, this is super comfortable. It's also very light because of it. Now I have a 9.5, they do fit me true to size, and they weigh in at 10.7 ounces. And that's pretty fantastic considering you have a full rubber outsole and a cut and sew mesh and leather suede sort of overlay on the upper. And again, this midsole that's like very lightweight. So I love the overall package of what this thing offers. Let's go ahead and give you some more details about the Adidas LightBlaze. They do have them available on Adidas website right now. I will link them in the description for those that are interested in buying a pair. Again, they're only $100 at retail, and they have 8 different colorways. However, I do believe that this is the best colorway out of all of them. Again, I would say they do fit true to size. It says lightweight shoes with a modern design and performance running tech. These shoes are inspired by the latest in Adidas running tech, bringing you lightweight comfort and standout style for everyday life. A breathable mesh upper is layered with premium suede and nubuck overlays for a luxe finish. Underneath it all, the Lightstrike midsole provides dynamic cushioning for every step. This colorway is the Alumina core black and cloud white. Now, one thing to note, they actually have a men's and a women's version of the shoe, which honestly I think is kind of a bad move. From the images, it looks like Tate's actually wearing this specific colorway, not like the women's version, which I think is a better move. To be honest, they shouldn't have a men's or women's. It should be unisex, and whatever Tate's wearing, it's good enough for her, it's good enough for me. I think that anytime a brand tries to narrowly focus on a core audience, sometimes it works, but sometimes it doesn't, and I feel like they don't need to have a men's versus women's version of this shoe. I really like the men's version, and I like the 3 stripes here on the side. That's one of the things that I think the women's version doesn't necessarily have. It doesn't look like, at least from the pictures. Now, as for the design, I'll say I really like it, man. At first glance, you look at the shoe, kind of that toe down look. So the first layer on the shoe is just mesh. It goes from the toe box all the way back to the heel. The next layer is a fused on material, and you could see like the black fused on layers, kind of a silhouette to some of the other layers that you're gonna get to in a second. Next, you have like a chevron shape for at least 3 different layers of like a suede and a leather type material. Could be synthetic, could not be. I'm imagining the leather is synthetic considering the $100 price point. But you have a V here, a V here, and a V here that extends through the upper, and it has a nice little balance and symmetry to that. But to add a little disruption to that, you do have the 3 stripes that go the opposite way of the arrows or the chevron look there, and I kind of like it. It definitely disrupts the shoe and throws on like the branding on the sides, and I think it looks really nice, to be honest. But it also does sort of detract from the flow of the other layers. But again, I totally welcome it. Now you do have another top layer of like suede on the heel counter here, and then underneath that you have another layer that does have a little black pull tab here that is sewn down. The odd thing to me on this shoe is the tongue. But it, again, goes with the flow of the shoe. With the V's and the chevron sort of shape, you do have a split tongue that has that same sort of energy. And then you put it on and you're good to go. It is fairly narrow. Like if you look at the tongue inside, there's like a small narrow gap from where the tongue kind of extends up. And it's okay. It's not gusseted or semi-gusseted. It didn't shift around too much left or right because of the shape of the tongue. But I do, you know, prefer usually just a regular standard semi-gusseted tongue. However, the shape and the fit of this one, it actually flows again really nice with the shoe, and it is purposeful, and I like it. Work your way to the midsole of the shoe, and that's where I really think that everything comes together, is this Lightstrike midsole. Now again, not Lightstrike Pro, but the Lightstrike in this shoe is very, very good. It's a wider base, it's wide in the forefoot, wide in the heel, Again, lightweight, sub 11 ounces for a 9.5 is pretty awesome. Now I will say based on the upper, it does have like a little bit of different like symmetry and flow. Like I feel like you could use this bottom on a different pair and it would look maybe a little bit better because of the geometric shapes kind of stemming from like the center point here. So you'll have some design elements that kind of cascade from the front down, and then you also have design elements in the midsole that cascade from the midpoint down, and it kind of, I wouldn't say it clashes, but it doesn't flow super perfect together. Regardless of that, I still think it looks good together, and the width of the Lightstrike and the overall comfort of these are excellent. If you're a fan of the Oswegos and those type of sneakers from any of the Oz line from Adidas, I think you're going to try this shoe out and be pleasantly surprised. It's out of the box, fresh, comfortable because of the Lightstrike, and it's, again, lighter, and the mesh is great. And the design, I think, is good as well, especially, again, at the $100 price point. You have a lot of traction on the outsole, which is, again, very plentiful, and it definitely adds to the durability of the shoe, making this one of those shoes that you can just wear day in and day out, and I think you're going to be happy with your choice. $100 price point, I think Adidas is nailing that. The fact that they have Tate McRae wearing the shoes, I think is awesome. I think it needs to be publicized more. It's obvious that they got her on board, but it would be smart to be able to utilize her and her presence in these shoes to really gain more mass, like mainstream audience to the shoes. If you guys or girls are interested in buying these, check the link in the description and it'll take you again to Adidas website and you can purchase your own. You can see the men's and the women's and the different colorways they have available. Some colorways are actually on sale for only 80 bucks, so even better. Shout out to those people that have been asking for a review of these shoes. I've seen your comments. I've been waiting to get the video done. I totally forgot. They were sitting in my garage because I was just wearing them. But I apologize for the delay and thank you guys for staying on me about that. If you have other shoes that you guys want to see a review on, including ones like this is one that I'm excited. This is a new Adistar pair that Adidas released, and so I'm like really excited to show you guys these ones. Really comfortable pair as well. The Adistar 3s were like the biggest sleeper of last year, and now we have a kind of a bigger, beefier version. So I'll be comparing those and doing a review on these very soon. I think they're great. Anyway, subscribe to the channel if you guys want to see more content. I appreciate y'all for stopping in and watching. Hopefully you guys have a good rest of the day, and hopefully we'll see you back here for more content soon. All right, peace, guys.